Some places have a story etched into their very soil. Hunters Point is one of them. For decades, this shipyard was a powerhouse of American industry and defense, a place where grit and sweat built ships that sailed the world. But that history left a mark, a complicated legacy of contamination that has kept this prime piece of land dormant for too long. People look at it and see a problem, a relic of a bygone era. Well, at MAFH Manufacturing, Logistics and Defense Inc., we see something different. We see a chance for a comeback story, a green industrial rebirth that honors the past while building a cleaner, stronger future. This isn't just about pouring concrete and putting up walls. It's about proving that industry and ecology can be partners, not enemies. Our vision is straightforward and I believe profoundly necessary. We aim to transform this neglected corner of San Francisco into a beacon of sustainable industry. We're not talking about another tech campus or a set of boutique shops. We're talking about real, tangible production, the kind that creates good-paying jobs and useful products right here at home. Our plan is to build 3 state-of-the-art factories: Media Group, artists' rendering of hydrogen iron-making plant, modern eco-friendly steel factory exterior at stock at distribute_equally, a hydrogen iron-making plant, a glass recycling facility, and a water bottling plant. Each one is designed from the ground up to be safe, efficient, and environmentally responsible. The goal is to create a closed-loop system where waste is minimized, resources are respected, and the health of our workers and the surrounding community is the absolute top priority. This project is built on a foundation of 3 core principles. Media Group, icons or real scenes representing safety, sustainability, and community, montage of safe factory, solar panels, and community meeting at stock at distribute_equally safety, sustainability, and community. Safety means we won't cut a single corner when it comes to cleaning up the site and protecting our workforce. We will use the best science and technology available to ensure every square foot of our operational area is clean and secure before a single brick is laid. Sustainability means our factories will use cutting-edge green technology to reduce their footprint, from using renewable energy to recycling water and materials. We want to be a model for how heavy industry can thrive in the 21st century without poisoning the planet for future generations. Finally, and most importantly, this is about the community. A job is more than just a paycheck, it's a source of dignity, purpose, and stability. We're committed to hiring locally, providing training, and becoming a true partner to the people of Bayview Hunters Point. This isn't about outsiders coming in to extract value. It's about investing in the community, revitalizing a landmark, and creating a legacy of shared prosperity. We're here to prove that you can do well by doing good, and that the dirtiest jobs, like cleaning up a contaminated shipyard, can lead to the cleanest, brightest future for everyone involved. It's hard work, but it's honest work, and it's work that needs to be done. Before you can build anything, you have to know the ground you're standing on. At Hunters Point, that's not just a figure of speech, it's a critical first step. The shipyard is a massive piece of real estate, over 500 acres, and its history is a patchwork of different activities. Some areas were used for offices and light storage, while others were ground zero for shipbuilding, repair, and radiological research. You can't treat it all the same. So, our first job, working with environmental scientists and regulators, was to create a detailed map of the entire site, highlighting the good, the bad, and the ugly. It's like being a detective, piecing together clues from old records and soil samples to understand exactly what we're dealing with. Our investigation has identified several zones that are simply off-limits for our project. These exclusion zones, particularly parcels D and E, have significant radiological contamination from the old Naval Radiological Defense Laboratory. Let me be perfectly clear, we are not touching these areas. Building factories on or near this ground would be irresponsible and dangerous, and it's a non-starter for us. These zones require a specialized, long-term cleanup effort led by the U.S. Navy, and our plan respects those boundaries completely. We will build a wide buffer around them, ensuring our operations and their remediation efforts never interfere with one another. There's no compromise when it comes to safety. So, where is it safe to build? Our focus is on Parcel A. This section of the shipyard is located at the northernmost tip, furthest from the historically sensitive areas. Decades of environmental testing have shown that Parcel A has a much cleaner bill of health. Its primary historical use was for administration, barracks, and some light industrial work, not the heavy-duty radiological activities seen elsewhere. This makes it the most logical and secure location for our new industrial hub. It offers the space we need for our 3 factories and has direct access to the existing deep-water docks, which is crucial for our logistics. It's the right place to start this new chapter. Choosing Parcel A isn't just about avoiding the worst of the contamination, it's about creating a controllable, manageable footprint. By concentrating our development in this one area, we can implement a comprehensive and rigorous cleanup and monitoring program. We can be certain that the ground beneath our factories is stable and safe for our workers and the environment. This focused approach allows us to move forward with confidence, knowing we've made the smartest choice based on science and a deep respect for the site's complex history. It's about being practical, safe, and setting ourselves up for success from day one. You don't start a marathon by running through a minefield. Even in the safest part of the shipyard, Parcel A, you don't just start digging. Decades of industrial activity, even the light kind, leave a mark. We're not just talking about old foundations and forgotten pipes, we're talking about a chemical cocktail that has seeped into the soil and groundwater over the years. The main culprits are things you'd expect from an old industrial site. Heavy metals like lead, cadmium, and zinc from paints, welding, and machinery. Then there are petroleum hydrocarbons, oil, diesel, and grease that leaked from vehicles and storage tanks. And finally, you have volatile organic compounds, or VOCs, which are industrial solvents and degreasers that have a nasty habit of spreading. This contamination poses a dual threat. First, it's a direct danger to the health of our future workers and the surrounding ecosystem. Heavy metals can accumulate in living tissue, causing a host of health problems. Hydrocarbons and VOCs can pollute the air we breathe and the water that eventually flows into the San Francisco Bay. We can't, in good conscience, build a green industrial hub on top of poisoned ground. It would be a contradiction in terms. The legacy of the past has to be addressed head-on before we can even think about building the future. Ignoring it would be like building a house on a toxic waste dump. It's just not an option. The second threat is to the bay itself. The soil at Hunters Point doesn't just sit there, it interacts with the environment around it. Rainwater washes over the land, picking up these contaminants and carrying them as runoff into the bay. Over time, groundwater moving slowly beneath the surface can also become a conveyor belt for these pollutants, creating a slow-motion environmental disaster. This is why a passive approach, just leaving it alone, is not a solution. The contamination is a lingering problem that will continue to leach into one of our most precious natural resources unless we actively intervene. We have a responsibility to not only stop this from happening but to reverse the damage. So, the challenge is clear. We need a cleanup strategy that is thorough, effective, and sustainable in its own right. We could go the old-school route, dig up thousands of tons of soil and haul it off to a hazardous waste landfill. But that just moves the problem somewhere else, and it comes with a massive carbon footprint from all the trucks and heavy machinery. It's a brute force solution for a problem that requires a more elegant, intelligent approach. We believe there's a better way, a greener way to clean the very earth we plan to build on. It's a method that works with nature, not against it, to heal the land. So how do you clean up contaminated soil without just digging it all up and shipping it away? You hire the right crew for the job. And in this case, the best workers are plants. The method is called phytoremediation, which is just a fancy word for using plants to clean up soil, water, and air. It sounds like something out of a science fiction movie, but it's a proven, powerful, and natural process. Certain plants have an amazing ability to act like living pumps and filters. They can pull contaminants out of the ground through their roots, break them down into less harmful substances, or simply trap them in their leaves and stems, effectively removing them from the environment. Our phytoremediation plan for Parcel A is a two-pronged attack, targeting different types of contaminants with specific plant species. For the heavy metals like lead and zinc, we'll deploy a team of hyperaccumulators. These are plants that are champs at absorbing metals. We'll plant fields of Indian mustard and sunflowers. These plants are not only tough and fast-growing, but their roots actively search for and draw up heavy metals from the soil, storing them in their leafy tissues. Think of them as millions of tiny solar-powered vacuums, sucking the poison out of the ground inch by inch, day by day. It's a slow but steady process that cleans the soil in place. For the petroleum hydrocarbons and VOCs, we need a different kind of specialist. These organic compounds require a team that can break them down. For this job, we'll use grasses like ryegrass and fescue, along with legumes like clover. These plants don't necessarily absorb the contaminants themselves. Instead, they do something even smarter. They create the perfect home for armies of microscopic helpers. Their root systems release sugars and enzymes into the soil, which stimulates the growth of naturally occurring bacteria and fungi that feed on hydrocarbons and VOCs, breaking them down into harmless byproducts like carbon dioxide and water. The plants are essentially the landlords and caterers for a microbial cleanup crew. Once these plants have done their job, we complete the process. The sunflowers and mustard greens, now containing the heavy metals, will be harvested carefully. They will then be transported to a specialized facility where they are incinerated to capture and safely dispose of the concentrated metals. This dramatically reduces the total volume of hazardous waste we have to deal with. The grasses and legumes will simply be tilled back into the ground, enriching the soil once their work of fostering microbial activity is done. This entire process is a living solution. It's cost-effective, it reduces the need for landfills, and it leaves behind healthier, more fertile soil than we started with. It's the ultimate dirty job, and nature provides the best tools. Once the ground is clean, it's time to build. But we're not building the smoke-belching factories of the past. Our 3 facilities, hydrogen ironmaking, glass recycling, and water bottling, are designed to be shining examples of 21st century green manufacturing. They are part of an interconnected system, a small industrial ecosystem where the output of one process can support another. The core idea is to maximize efficiency, eliminate waste, and operate in harmony with the local environment. These factories will be the beating heart of the new Hunters Point, pumping out valuable products and good jobs without poisoning the air or the bay. This is industry reimagined for a sustainable age. The design of each factory prioritizes resource conservation. Solar panels will cover every available rooftop, generating a significant portion of the electricity we need directly on site. Any additional power will be sourced from renewable providers. Water is another critical resource, especially in California. We will implement extensive water recycling systems within each plant. Processed water will be captured, treated, and reused multiple times before a final clean discharge. This dramatically reduces our demand on the municipal water supply and minimizes our impact on the bay's ecosystem. We're aiming for a closed-loop system wherever possible, turning what used to be waste streams into valuable inputs. Safety and transparency will be built into the physical and operational structure of the factories. All facilities will be constructed with state-of-the-art containment measures to prevent any accidental spills or emissions. We'll have real-time environmental monitoring systems for air and water quality, with the data made publicly available. This isn't just about meeting regulatory standards, it's about exceeding them and earning the trust of the community. We want our neighbors to see exactly what we're doing and have confidence that we are operating as cleanly and safely as we promise. Open doors and open data are fundamental to our philosophy. Furthermore, these factories are designed to work together. The glass recycling plant will process local waste glass, some of which can be used to create new bottles for the water bottling plant right next door. The heat generated by the iron-making process could potentially be captured and used to provide energy for the other facilities. This concept, known as industrial symbiosis, is about finding clever ways to link different industrial processes to reduce overall consumption and waste. It's a smarter, more integrated way of thinking about manufacturing, turning a collection of standalone factories into a cohesive, high-performance industrial ecosystem. When you think of making steel, you probably picture giant blast furnaces burning mountains of coal and spewing thick black smoke into the sky. That process is one of the single biggest industrial sources of carbon dioxide emissions on the planet. Our hydrogen iron-making plant is designed to change that narrative completely. We're replacing coal with the most abundant element in the universe: hydrogen. The process is called direct reduced iron, or DRI, and when you power it with green hydrogen, it's a game changer for the steel industry. It allows us to make the fundamental building block of steel, iron, with virtually no carbon emissions. Here's how it works in simple terms. Instead of using carbon from coal to strip oxygen away from iron ore, we use hydrogen. The green hydrogen will be produced on-site using electrolyzers powered by our solar arrays and other renewable energy sources. These electrolyzers split water molecules, H2O, into hydrogen and oxygen. This hydrogen gas is then fed into a reactor with iron ore pellets. Inside the reactor, the hydrogen bonds with the oxygen in the ore, and what comes out isn't carbon dioxide, it's water vapor, H2O. The waste product is literally just water, which we can capture and reuse in the electrolyzers. It's a beautifully clean and circular process. The product of this plant is not finished steel, but high-quality direct reduced iron. This DRI, sometimes called sponge iron, is a premium raw material that can be shipped to electric arc furnace steel mills across the country and the world. These EAF mills, which already use a lot of recycled scrap metal, can blend our green DRI into their mix to produce new steel with a dramatically lower carbon footprint. We become a critical link in the green steel supply chain, providing a clean alternative to traditional carbon-intensive pig iron from blast furnaces. We're not just making a product, we're enabling an entire industry to get cleaner. This factory represents a major leap forward. It positions Hunters Point at the forefront of a global transition in one of our most essential industries. It creates high-skilled, high-paying jobs in a field that is poised for massive growth as the world moves to decarbonize. It proves that heavy industry doesn't have to be a dirty word. By harnessing the power of water and sunlight, we can forge the materials needed for modern life, for our buildings, our cars, our infrastructure, in a way that protects our planet for generations to come. This isn't a distant dream, it's the technology of today, and we're bringing it to the Bay Area. While the hydrogen iron plant tackles a global challenge, our other two factories focus on a powerful local opportunity, creating a circular economy right here in the Bay Area. The glass recycling and water bottling plants are designed to work in tandem, turning local waste into valuable products and demonstrating a smarter way to manage our resources. Every year, tons of glass from San Francisco and surrounding cities end up in landfills or are shipped long distances for processing. We see that as a wasted opportunity. Our state-of-the-art glass recycling facility will change that by providing a local solution to a local problem. The glass plant will be equipped with advanced optical sorting technology. Trucks will bring in mixed glass from municipal recycling programs. Once inside, the glass is cleaned and crushed into what's called cullet. Then, the magic happens. The sorters use cameras and jets of air to separate the cullet by color, clear, brown and green, with incredible speed and accuracy. This color-sorted cullet is far more valuable than mixed glass and can be sold to manufacturers to make new bottles and jars. A significant portion of the clear cullet we produce will travel just a few hundred feet to our adjacent water bottling plant, creating a perfect closed-loop system on-site. The water bottling plant is the other half of this local loop. We will source high-quality water from a sustainable municipal source, subject it to an advanced multi-stage purification process, and bottle it in the very glass that was recycled next door. This creates one of the lowest carbon beverage products imaginable. The glass isn't being shipped from overseas or across the country, it's being reborn right here at Hunters Point. We will focus on supplying local and regional markets, further reducing the transportation footprint. It's a simple, common-sense approach. Use local resources to serve local needs, minimizing waste and pollution every step of the way. Together, these two factories are more than just businesses. They are a physical demonstration of a circular economy. They create jobs in sorting, processing, logistics, and plant operations. They reduce the region's reliance on landfills, save energy. Making products from recycled materials uses far less energy than from virgin materials, and provide a locally sourced, sustainable product. It's a model that can be replicated for other materials and in other communities. It proves that environmental responsibility and smart business can go hand in hand, turning what society throws away into the foundation of a thriving local enterprise. A great plan for factories is useless if you can't get materials in and products out efficiently and safely. Logistics is the circulatory system of any industrial operation, and at Hunters Point we have a unique advantage, a deep water port right at our doorstep. Our logistics plan is designed to maximize the use of maritime shipping, which is by far the most carbon-efficient way to move heavy goods over long distances. The iron ore for our hydrogen plant will arrive by ship, and the finished direct reduced iron will be loaded onto vessels for export to steel mills around the world. This direct dock access is the key to our global competitiveness. We will modernize a section of the existing dock infrastructure within Parcel A to handle this traffic. This involves upgrading the piers, installing modern, energy-efficient cranes, and designing a streamlined loading and unloading process. Our goal is to make ship turnarounds as quick as possible, reducing the time vessels spend idling in port. All dockside equipment, from cranes to yard vehicles, will be electric, charged by our on-site solar power. This eliminates diesel emissions at the port, protecting local air quality and the health of our dock workers. The port won't be a source of noise and pollution, it will be a quiet, clean, and efficient gateway to the world. Of course, not everything can move by ship. We will need trucks to bring in materials like the recycled glass from around the Bay Area, and to distribute our bottled water to local markets. To manage this, we are designing a smart truck logistics system. All truck traffic will be routed through a dedicated corridor that keeps vehicles away from residential areas. We will implement a scheduling system, so trucks arrive in staggered, pre-arranged time slots, preventing traffic jams at the gates and on local streets. We will also build an on-site electric charging depot and require our local trucking partners to transition to electric or hydrogen-fueled trucks over time. This integrated approach, prioritizing sea freight, electrifying port operations, and managing truck traffic intelligently, is essential to our promise of being a good neighbor. It minimizes our impact on local roads, reduces noise pollution, and drastically cuts down on emissions. It's a holistic plan that considers the entire journey of a product, from the moment raw material arrives to the moment a finished good leaves our gate. Clean factories need clean logistics to be truly sustainable. At Hunters Point, we are building both from the ground up, ensuring our industrial rebirth is efficient, responsible, and respectful of the community we call home. A vision is just a dream without a plan and a timeline. Our project for the green industrial rebirth of Hunters Point is broken down into clear, manageable phases. This isn't going to happen overnight. It's a deliberate step-by-step process that prioritizes safety and thoroughness above all else. As of today, July 27, 2025, we are at the very beginning of this journey, finalizing our partnerships and securing the last of the permits. The real work is about to begin, and we are committed to moving forward methodically and transparently. This is not a race, it's a marathon we intend to win. Phase 1. Site preparation and phytoremediation, months 1 through 24. The first 2 years are all about the ground beneath our feet. This phase begins immediately and is the most critical. We will secure Parcel A, install monitoring equipment, and begin planting our cleanup crew of sunflowers, Indian mustard, and specialized grasses. While these plants are doing their slow, steady work of cleaning the soil, our engineering teams will be finalizing the factory designs, and our logistics teams will be planning the modernization of the port facilities. This is the foundational phase where patience and science lay the groundwork for everything that follows. Phase 2. Infrastructure and construction, months 25 through 48. Once the environmental regulators have certified that our phytoremediation goals have been met and the soil is clean, we will move into the construction phase. This will take approximately 2 years. The first order of business will be to build the infrastructure, upgrading roads, laying utilities, and modernizing the designated dock area. Following that, construction will begin on the 3 factories simultaneously. We will use prefabricated components where possible to speed up the process and minimize on-site disruption. During this phase, we will also begin our first wave of local hiring and training programs for future plant operators and technicians. Phase 3. Commissioning and full operation beginning month 49. 4 years from the start, we anticipate the start of the final phase. This involves commissioning the plants, testing every system, running the equipment, and ensuring everything operates exactly as designed. The glass recycling and water bottling plants will likely come online first, as they are less complex. The hydrogen ironmaking plant will follow shortly after. We project that all 3 factories will be at full operational capacity by the end of year 5. From that point forward, our focus will be on continuous improvement, ongoing environmental monitoring, and deepening our partnership with the Bayview Hunters Point community, ensuring this industrial rebirth delivers on its promise for decades to come. This is a long-term commitment, and we're just getting started.